Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be reviewing this really amazing app for the iPad. This is ArtStudio Pro, and before we begin I just want to quickly tell you guys that this app is not free. So if you are looking for free software, just wait for videos that I'm going to do in future about free iPad apps for digital art. But for now this app is paid, and I'm going to be kind of comparing this app with Procreate and as well as a little bit with Photoshop. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in. So that's how the screen looks like when you open the app up, and here we have our three little options. One is to create new artboard, obviously. Then we have edit, so you can basically delete the items you have on the screen or the document, or you can just duplicate it from this tab right here. So if I select this and if I select this, it'll just duplicate the document. And obviously you can just directly export from here by selecting that little upload icon. And these are the formats that you can actually export the documents in right now. At this point we have PSD, we have PNGs, JPEG, TIFF, and actually everything that you actually need. Yeah, also we don't have animation right now on this app, so yeah, that's one thing to notice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up this empty document so that we can go ahead with this video. So as you guys can see, it is actually pretty easy to understand. It somewhat looks like Photoshop a little bit, the little windows that we have on the top. So as you guys can see, we have a lot of functions right here, similar to the ones we have in Photoshop. You can also make these disappear if you want to clear your screen up. And not all of them are similar to Photoshop, as we have a lot of function features and tools in Photoshop. It's kind of like a good mixture of Procreate and Photoshop, which is really amazing. And then we have a lot of tools right here as well. So just by looking at these tools and features and functions, it makes me feel as if Photoshop and Procreate had a baby. So yeah, but this is amazing. We don't have a lot of tools that we see right here on Procreate, and if you use Procreate, you know what I'm talking about. So it's almost like a mini Photoshop for iPad, which is kind of cool. And as you guys can see, we have gradient fill as well, which is amazing. We don't have that in Procreate, and that is something I'd love to use. Now again, I'm not going into detail about each and every tool. I'm going to be testing some of these tools, the ones that I use frequently, and I'm going to be testing those and just going to see how they work as compared to the ones we have on Procreate. So again, I'm not going to go into detail about each and every tool, feature, or function, because if you are an artist, you already know those. I just want to quickly show you guys how better this app is as compared to Procreate, or how good this app is to use if we just completely forget about Procreate. Then we have here our favorite presets, so you can actually add your favorite presets that you use frequently right here. Then we have our Eyedropper Tool, but if you want to, you can always just go ahead and pick color up like this as you would do on Procreate. So these are little functions, and we all have our Smudge Tool right here. The only thing I didn't like about the Smudge Tool right here on this app is we only have a limited number of brushes for Smudge Tool, as on Procreate we have every brush for smudging. So whatever brush you select, if you want to smudge with that, you can do that. But here you can only select from these default brushes for smudging. I'll test out the smudge brush, but before I do that, I'm just quickly want to show you everything. Then let's just come right here on the layers panel. On the layers panel, we have our blending modes. We have this little icon which says S, and what it basically does is if you click that icon, it'll just allow you to select all the layers and group them or do whatever you want to do with them basically. So yeah, that's that. And when you click on layer, we have our, you can rename your layer, change the opacity, maybe the blending mode. You can lock transparency, which is alpha lock. You can, or either you can just lock the layer completely. You can lock the position of the element you have on the layer. We can just use the layer as reference, and you can also create mask and clipping mask. So yeah, we are actually getting a lot of stuff out of this layers panel until now. Then we have our new layer button. Then we have this button which is for duplicating the layer or adding the group or maybe adding the mask. Then we have our merge icon. You can merge down or merge visible, whatever suits you. So we have our merge functions as well. And we are coming on my favorite part, which is layer effect. I like how they actually named each and every functions. As you guys can see on the top, it says layer effects. So when you're using, you're not confused. So when you go to edit effects, here we have our little heaven. We have our stroke, we have inner shadows, inner glows, outer glows, we have gradient overlay, pattern overlay, and the most important part of all is drop shadow. Oh my god. This layer panel is just, I have no words for this, because on Procreate, if you want to create stroke, you have to do it manually. If you want to create drop shadow, you have to do it manually. And we don't have all these layer effects on Procreate. So that is the reason why I said that it's a good mixture of Photoshop and Procreate. And the price they're charging you for this app is actually worth it. It's actually worth it. It's a little above from what Procreate charges you. It's a one-time purchase, but it's worth it because we have a lot of functions and features right here that we don't have on Procreate. And this is a really big deal for me, like the drop shadow, stroke, inner glow, outer glow, because sometimes I actually do some graphic design stuff. For that, I always use Photoshop, and I can't just use Procreate. So this makes it easy for me that I can actually create some graphic designs on my iPad. The next amazing thing we have right here, sizing bar or opacity bar that we have on Procreate as well. But the coolest part about it, we have a lot of options for the brush as well. So you can change the drawing mode to freehand line. Freehand line is basically just when you draw a line and when you hold it, it creates a line. Also, we have our shapes, line, rectangle, ellipse, polygon, and you can either draw just freehand. So that is amazing. We have all of our little brush settings handy right here on the left hand side. Then we have hard edges. Hard edges would just make your brush look, or the element that you have created using the brush, look hard, and the edges would be hard. That's quite self-explanatory. Then we have a lot of functions for the brush as well. The coolest part is the Symmetry Tool that we have right here. For the Symmetry Tool as well, you have different settings. When you enable it, you can either go horizontal with the Symmetry Tool, or you can go vertical with the Symmetry Tool. Again, we don't have all of this stuff on Procreate. So that's that. One more thing that we have on this bar is this little icon. So what it does, it just allows you to select colors just from this little mini bar that you have on the left hand side, which again makes it really easy, or kind of speeds up your whole painting process, because you don't really have to go back to the color wheel to change the color, and that is quite a big deal. So I'm impressed by now. Now let's just check out the colors panel. Again, you can move this around if you want to, so this will make it easy to pick colors up from the group of swatches that we have. So these are not really palettes, these are groups of swatches. And to add swatch, you have to go onto this little icon and click add swatch, and it'll add the swatch to the group, to the selected group. And this is the reason, this is a little thing I don't like, because on Procreate you just have to tap onto the screen to add the swatch, and it is that easy. But that is okay, I think. And other thing is, you can actually switch from squared color wheel to circle color wheel. It's up to you, whatever suits you. so that's about the colors panel that we have. Okay, so the next thing is our brushes panel. Again, you can move this around if you want to. Also, we don't have the custom brushes function or feature on this app right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still new to this app, so maybe I don't know about it if you have that, but I don't see it right here. So you don't have the custom brush creation feature on this app yet, but still we have a lot of settings for each and every brush. Also, this hairbrush, which is wavy hair, I really like this. Just look at this. It'll just make the whole painting hair process a lot easier for me. And I don't really use brushes for painting hair, but I think I'm gonna use this one. So again, for brushes, we have a lot of brush sets. We have our oil paints, we have painting, we have digital painting, we have our different textures as well. And yeah, the one thing I didn't like about this app is you only get a few brushes for smudging. So as in Procreate, you can use any brush as a smudging tool, but right here you can only use these brushes for smudging. So this is something I didn't like about it. Okay, so now without wasting any time, I'm just going to quickly test out the smudging tool first. So I'm just going to pick some random brush for that, and I'm just going to quickly make sure the settings are the same as I use on Procreate. I'm just going to try and smudge this hair with a white canvas, and maybe let's just decrease opacity. Okay, so I don't know, I'm not really sure about the smudging brush on this app. Maybe when you lower the opacity, then only it will work the best. As you guys can see, if I increase opacity, it is just moving the pixels around. It is not really blending, but it is just moving the pixels. Let me just decrease the opacity to the lowest. I think then only you can actually blend out things nicely, but still I'm not really impressed with the smudging tool. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really use smudging tool that often anyways, but still I just want to test it out. I don't know what happened. This app kind of stopped working. I'm clicking on things, but it is not happening. Okay, my gosh, it kind of stopped working all of a sudden. So yeah, from what I'm doing right here, and from what I did before recording this video, I actually painted something just to test the things out. I didn't really like the smudge tool because it is not I don't know, just kind of moving things around. It is not really blending colors together. So that's just my opinion. So that's about the smudging tool, and I think the one we have on Procreate is better in this case for the smudge tool. And yeah, that's that. Another thing that I noticed on this software is that you cannot really undo enough times as on Procreate. So you just have a limited number of times for the undo function. So yeah, I do that a lot. So that is something I do that a lot. Sometimes I really need a number of undos, but we don't have that on this app. We have a limited number of undos, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I think I have tested each and every part of this app, the main parts especially, and I don't think I'm missing out on anything. These are the functions that I personally use a lot. So those were my basis or my standards for testing this app out or for reviewing this app out. Other than that, I think from the small things like the smudge tool that I didn't like and the number of undos you can do on this app, apart from that, this app is really amazing, you guys. I'd highly recommend you guys to download this app if you are looking for something close to Photoshop but also close to Procreate, this would be it. And this app is amazing. It has crazy amazing options, features and functions that you don't usually find in Procreate. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this app to you if you are one of those. Also, for the price point, it is not that expensive. It is a little higher than what Procreate charges you, but I think it's worth it because it is actually providing you a lot of additional features and functions also. So that is the reason why I think it is worth it. So it is really good for digital painting as well as graphic designing, because we have a lot of functions from Photoshop as well. So it is good for both. So if you are one of those who deals in graphic design and digital painting as well, then this app is for you. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this mini review video, and if you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday and Friday, and yeah, follow me on Instagram as well. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.